Kelly Barlow Creations. If you're new to my channel and you're stopping by for the first time, thank you for stopping by. Welcome to my channel. Stick around a while by clicking that red button for more crafting on a budget, more everything on a budget videos to come. And if you click it again when the bell appears, YouTube should notify you every time I upload a new video, depending on the option that you choose in the drop-down menu of the bell. If you're interested in following me on social media, you can find those links in the description box below. What have I got going on for you for today? Today, I am bringing to you a paper crafting DIY doing an explosion box. I am so stinking excited about this because this was something I had never heard of until my live feed when my coffee spilled and I was bringing you that paper crafting DIY. And when I really heard everybody talking about this, I thought honestly that it was a subscription box of some kind. I Googled it because I Google everything. Google is my best friend. It could be bad that I do that, but I do. I Google everything. And when I Googled it and I saw that it was a paper craft, I thought, duh, Kelly, why would somebody be talking about a subscription box to you when you're doing a paper crafting DIY? And so when I saw how amazing this was, I thought, how fun is this? What a fun gift to give somebody and to make. Endless possibilities, beautiful. I can't wait. I'm so excited about today's paper crafting DIY. Can you tell? So let me quit my gabbing. Let's jump into it and let me show you just how easy it is to make an explosion box on a budget using some paper pads by Craft Smart that you can get at Michael's. Hope you got them on sale when they were 70% off because they were $5.99. Amazing buy. Okay, I'm gonna quit my gabbing. Let's do some paper crafting. The paper pack that I'm using today is this double-sided paper stack by Recollections. This is such a fun stack. I feel like it is very suiting for the springtime, this time of year. And for this explosion box, I thought that this was the perfect explosion of colors to make this box with. Now in this pack, I will only be using about 6 or 7 of the decorative papers because I feel like it is so bright and so busy that I wanted to also incorporate some solid cardstock as well, just to kind of tone it down and make it a bit less busy. And so this is a fun one, and you can find this at Michael's. For this explosion box, I kind of wanted to start off with the outer box being somewhat enclosed instead of just having the flaps that go up. And so I'm gonna start off with a 12 by 12 piece, which there's no cutting involved. And I'm gonna put this on the outside, the green on the inside. With this one, we're gonna go ahead and score at 4 inches. We're gonna rotate our paper to another side, score at 4 inches again, rotate our paper again, score at 4 inches, and lastly, rotate our paper and score again at 4, which then gives us 9 4 by 4 inch squares that are scored into our paper. We are not done scoring yet. Because this box is enclosed, we do need to score again, and we're gonna score from point to point on our scrapbooking paper. And so I'm just gonna take my ruler, I'm gonna line it up to both points, and using my bone folder, I'm gonna go ahead and score across, which is diagonally. I'm gonna rotate my paper and I'm gonna score again across to these 2 points. And so you will have the 9 squares, you'll have this X, some triangles. I know it probably looks like a hot mess, but it's not. It's gonna make sense here in a minute. I'm gonna go ahead and fold in all of my scoring lines, and I'm gonna start off with the squares. Don't start off with the diagonal one because you don't need to yet. We'll do that here in a minute. So we've got all of our folds folded in except for our corner folds. Now with these, we're gonna flip our paper over, and on the corner, we're just gently going to fold our paper over just in the box itself. And we're just going to pinch that down and fold in that score, not all the way across the paper, just like so. Then we're gonna go ahead and do it to this corner as well. We're gonna leave this center one as flat as we can keep it. That is the goal here. And we're just gonna fold that in and wait until you see how cool this is. We're gonna go ahead and fold this corner in. It's all 4 corners here. I want the flower side of my paper on the outside. I want the green on the inside. And so you can see that that's how I folded it. So my folds come in, and just by pinching it and putting it together, pinching it and putting it together, pinching it and putting it together, we have now got a box. Look at how cool that is. And when we put the lid on, it's going to work perfectly. And so look at how fun that is. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. I love this. So we are done with the outside box. No taping, no gluing, no cutting needs to be done to this. For the cover of my outer box, I'm gonna go with just a solid white cardstock. And this piece measures out at 6 1/8 by 6 1/8 inches. So these are all perfect squares. And on the lid of our boxes, I'm gonna score at 1 inch all the way around. So I scored at 1 inch, I'm gonna rotate, score at 1 inch, rotate, score at 1 inch, rotate, and again, score at 1 inch, and we are done. Now with this, you're gonna see that you have a square here, a square here, a square here, and here. We're just gonna use our scoring line as a guide, and we're gonna cut a slit here, here, down here, and down here, and that is gonna allow us to close up our box here, or our lid, make it a lid. Cut, and on the flap itself, not on the longer flat, I'm gonna just kind of slice it a bit, just because I feel like it gives you a cleaner fold. And you wanna only do that on the flap itself. You don't wanna do it on this longer flap, only on the little tab here. You're gonna cut that little piece of pizza out. And you'll be left with your lid looking like this. We're gonna go ahead and fold in our scoring lines here. Keeping those tabs folded in, I'm gonna take my double-sided adhesive and place some adhesive on the tabs. Now, when placing your adhesive on the tabs, you wanna put the adhesive as close to this folded edge as you can, and a bit on the inside edge. And this is going to keep your box together nicely. Now, if you don't wanna use a double-sided adhesive, Dollar Tree does have one that has the paper on it that you peel away. You can use Aleene's Tacky Glue, and the clear gel one or the gold bottle is fine. Now we're just gonna fold in our flaps and glue these tabs to the flaps here, and then we have just made ourselves a box. Look at how easy that was. Now every lid that we make for this explosion box is going to be put together the same way. Again, it's just going to have different measurements because each lid is going to be a bit smaller than the last. Now taking the outer box, when I pinch all of these together and close this up, this is going to be the outside of our explosion box. Look at that. I like the way this closes up. And so yeah, I figured I would use some of the embellishments that I had in my stash. And so let's see which ones. Now I'm not gonna go through all the embellishments for every box that I do. I'll show you the box at the end, but pretty much the embellishments that I'm using are ones that I have in my stash and ones that are sticker packs that I also had in my stash from Michael's. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit this with some adhesive. And this is going to go just right on top here in the center. Now look at how cute that is. And it all just kind of goes together. I feel like the edges need something on this box. And so I think it would be fun just to incorporate some of the green into it. And look at there, just by taking some of the scrap pieces and just cutting them to kind of embellish the side here. We've decorated the cover, and it definitely ties in because the inside is the green as well. How stinking cute is that? Okay, wait for it. This took me several hours, but I figured it out. I put this whole explosion box that I made for you today in Cricut Design Space. For those of you who have a Cricut, don't want to do the cutting yourself, you can have your Cricut do it. So you're going to click on the link in the description box. It's going to bring you to this. You're going to go ahead and click Make. Once you click Make, it's going to bring it up onto your cutting mats. Each size box is separated by color. So that way you can differentiate what size box they're doing and what pattern paper you want to use. How cool is that? Easy peasy, lemon squeezy using your Cricut. But if not, we're going to do it this way. For this next box, I'm going with this yellow here, and on the reverse is the blue and green. And so this piece measures out at 11 1/4 inches wide by 11 1/4 inches long. And this piece here is gonna get scored at 3 3/4 inches on all 4 sides. So the last box, the outside box, we scored at 4 inches. Now you can see we're going a bit smaller at 3 3/4 inches on all 4 sides. Now with this box here, you'll see on this diagram that I did on my computer, the scoring lines. And once we've scored, we've got 9 even boxes, 3 rows of 3. Now we need to make our box, so we're gonna have to cut away some pieces, and the pieces that we're gonna cut away are these 4 corner squares, leaving us with a cross. And so just by following the scoring lines, we're gonna go ahead and cut out these 4 squares here. Now we are not going to throw these pieces away because this here is the stack of scraps from this entire box after I cut each of the boxes down to size and the lids. And so there's a significant amount of scrapbooking paper here, and we're going to use this to embellish and make pockets throughout our box. And so you want to keep even the littlest pieces because we're gonna make use out of them, whether it be putting an embellishment on it and elevating it like we did the cover, or just simply making a pocket or a belly band strap. And so yes, keep all of your scraps. From here on out, each of our boxes is going to be put together the same way, cutting away these 4 pieces and just folding in our scoring lines. To embellish this box, I thought it would be fun just to take some of the squares that we cut away, and by just simply cutting the square in half from corner to corner, we can make a pocket. And so because this is the coordinating piece, on the blue side here, I'm gonna go ahead and place some adhesive just on the edge, on 2 edges. And you're gonna wanna do it on the edge that has the 90-degree angle here, because then we're gonna go ahead and place it in one corner of one of our flaps, which in turn is now giving us a pocket in here. And so we can put a card, we can put a note, you can put anything in there. And we'll go through all the fun things that I put in afterwards. And so I'm going to utilize the other half of this square on this side here. Look at how cool that looks. We've got 2 more flaps here, so what do I want to put on each of these flaps? I think on one of them, I want to do a different type of a pocket. I've got a circle punch. This is a 2-inch circle punch. And so I'm gonna take my piece and I'm just gonna put a little notch in it, just to kind of add some embellishment to it there. And just kind of decorate this however you want. Get creative and have fun with your supplies. If you've got a Cricut, you can use Design Space to cut some of this stuff out. But isn't that just so fun? Look at how stinking cute that is. Now, if you don't have Design Space and a Cricut, you can buy these adorable sticker packs that are also $6 right now at Michael's. Splash and puddles, make a spring craft. Oh, how fun. Make a fairy garden. I'm gonna do splash and puddles. I think that is so cute. I love that. I'm gonna dive into my scraps and I'm just gonna put this sticker on a piece of cardstock here, just like so. And I'm gonna cut it out. I'm gonna round my corners. And I think this would be perfect right on this flap here. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit it with some adhesive. And would you look there? We've got our first box almost done. We've got to do the lid now. And for the lid, I'm going with this yellow solid cardstock. And this piece measures out at 5 7/8 by 5 7/8. And we are going to score this at 1 inch on all 4 sides. Now, most of the lids are going to be scored at 1 inch, and as they get smaller, we'll go down to 3 1/4 and 1/2, but I'll tell you those measurements as the boxes go down. But for now, this box is at 1 inch on all 4 sides. And again, we're gonna cut slits . The cover is done. How cute is that? And we have got these extra pieces here that I think are perfect to add on to the top of this. There's our lid. Now we're gonna take our outside box. We're gonna place just a bit of adhesive in the center here. And we are going to place our box inside. And you're gonna wanna center it. It should be smaller. And then just go ahead and press that down and look at there. We've just added our first layer to our explosion box. And when you close this up, look at how cute this is by rotating the colors. I just love this. I think that this is such a fun way. Look at how pretty that is. I love that. It's not super busy because of the lid, and yet we are still incorporating the coordinating paper with it, and how fun is that? And then I'll show you just when we close this up, it's going to close up so nicely. Very easily here. So we've got our box there, and we can go ahead and, so technically we've got 2 boxes now. Look at how fun that is. Isn't that just adorable? I love these. Whoever told me to do these was genius. So yes, we're gonna take our lid off, open up. I'm gonna take my other lid off and I'm just gonna place it inside this here. But the embellishments, I'll go through them with you after I get the box together and just show you what I used from my stash and whatnot and how you can do things. But for the most part, these are the pockets that I will be using throughout, and I will show you the belly belt and one other pocket that you can use if you want to use it. For box number 2, I'm going with a solid cardstock, and I thought light purple was a nice color, so that's what we're going with. And this piece measures out at 10.5 by 10.5 inches. And I'm gonna score it at 3.5 inches on all 4 sides. And so here we have the base of our box. And for the lid, I'm gonna go with this coordinating pattern, and this piece measures out at 5 5/8 by 5 5/8. And we, again, are going to score the lid at 1 inch all the way around. Okay, so for the first pocket, I've got just 2 rectangular pieces, and again, with this, I'm gonna cut from corner to corner, giving us kind of a funky shaped triangle. Then I'm gonna take this piece, and I'm gonna cut from corner to corner again. Then I'm just gonna kind of overlap. And that is a way that you can get this V here easily. You can also use these pieces and do a taller pocket here on the side. So we'll use those for that. And with this piece here, which would be the belly belt that we're gonna make, I'm gonna find the center point and I'm just gonna eyeball it. And I'm gonna mark it on the top and the bottom. And just by punching out that, rotating it, punching out there, we've made a cute belly belt. And so what's fun about the belly belt is you can just stick a card right in there like so. And all of these are pockets, which is fun. I love that. And we're gonna go ahead and place some adhesive in the center here. How stinking cute is that? And then this one comes up and the lid is gonna fit on that as well. And there we have box number 3. How fun is that? With a couple of note cards. Now you can embellish these with stickers if you want, or you can write something. You don't have to put a note card in each one, but I just used the other side of the paper to kind of add to it and use some of the note cards that I had in my stash already. Box number 3 is gonna be in these blue tones. I am loving this paper. It is just so fun. And this box is gonna measure out at 9 3/4 by 9 3/4. And this box is going to be scored at 3 1/4 inches on all 4 sides. I think for the inside of this box, I am gonna go with this side. For the lid, I'm gonna go with this solid light blue cardstock, and this piece measures out at 5 3/8 by 5 3/8. And again, this is gonna be scored at 1 inch on all 4 sides. And there we have the inside of the box. Love these. I can't. I think they're so fun, and the mason jars and the flowers, it's all just so fun. I'm glad I had all this to do it. We are on to box number 4. We are halfway done. For this box, I'm using a solid cardstock, and I'm going with this pink, and this piece measures out at 9 inches by 9 inches. And we are gonna score this at 3 inches on all 4 sides. And for the lid, I thought that this pattern would go nice with it, and this piece measures out at 4 5/8 by 4 5/8. And we're gonna score this now at 3/4 of an inch. So we're not gonna score the boxes at an inch anymore because the boxes are getting smaller, so we don't want that edge to be too big. So now we're gonna move to 3/4 of an inch on all 4 sides for our lids, the next couple lids. And would you look at how stinking cute this looks? I am just loving this. Every layer, I think gets cuter and cuter, or just more different. Maybe that's what it is. So this is, what was this? Our 4th box. So I'm gonna go ahead and attach it. Honestly, I want to keep making these. Now, I know they take some time, but I just want to gift them to everybody because I just love them. I think that they're fun to look at. They're fun to open up and just look at everything. Tell me what I'm going to write on each of the cards. I don't know. I think I'll just put a little saying if I gift it to somebody. One of my best friends, Ashley, is pregnant right now. And so I think I'm going to make her a baby one. And I think it'll be so adorable. And when we find out the gender of the baby, I'll make it either in blue, pink, green, yellow. I think she's aiming toward the tans maybe, and the sloths. How cute would that be? A sloth themed explosion box for a baby. Oh my goodness, I can't. How fun would this be? Actually, okay, one more thing. How fun would it be to give her a blank one and she could use it as a baby book, and she could put the baby's weight, the time the baby was born, how many inches. I love that idea. Okay, so this is our 4th box. Let's put the lid on so you can see that it fits. How adorable is that? I love it. Now, I don't feel a need to decorate the solid cardstock because I'm adding the decorative top, the lid, and I feel like that's enough of incorporating the paper pattern into the outside of the box, so when you open up, it all kind of goes together. Let's move this along a bit quicker and speed this up. For the box itself, I'm going with this pink decorative cardstock from the paper pack, and this piece is going to measure out at 8 1/4 by 8 1/4. And to score it, we're gonna score it at 2 3/4 all the way around on all 4 sides. The lid, I'm going with the nice solid pink. This measures out at 4 3/8 by 4 3/8. And the lid, again, will be scored at 3/4 of an inch on all 4 sides. And there we have that box. Look at how pretty this is. Have I said I like this paper yet? Because I love it. Let's add this to the center of this box here. The 6th box, going with this yellow, blue, and green theme. This one, I absolutely love this paper. I love yellow, it's so spring. And so for the box itself, the yellow cardstock is gonna measure out at 7 1/2 inches by 7 1/2 inches. And we're gonna score this at 2 1/2 inches on all 4 sides. And the lid measures out at 4 1/8 by 4 1/8. And again, we're gonna score the lid at 3 1/4 inch on all 4 sides. And here we have the next box. Box number 7, lucky number 7. We have one more to go after this. I'm going with kind of a buttery yellow cardstock for the lid and this green and buttery yellow printed paper. I am loving this. This is for the box, and the box is going to measure out at 6 3/4 by 6 3/4, and we're going to score at 2 1/4 inch on all 4 sides for the box. The lid measures out at 3 7/8 by 3 7/8, and we are going to score the lid at 3/4 of an inch on all 4 sides. And here it is done. When you're doing an explosion box like this, it really is just getting creative. I went with the theme of mason jars and flowers just because I felt like it was so cute and I had this stuff in my stash. And so, you know, just get creative, go with the theme. I think when you go with the theme, it makes it easier than trying to come up with a different theme for each box, I guess. And so when you've got a theme and you can interchange the colors, I think that that seems to make it a bit easier. And the last box that I'm gonna do for this explosion box is box number 8. I'm gonna stop there, and I'm going with that orange theme, and I'm gonna kind of just use the same paper because I didn't have any orange cardstock that matched this. It was too bright of an orange, kind of like a Halloween jack-o'-lantern orange, and so I figured I'd just finish the box off with the same paper. And the box itself is gonna measure out at 6 inches by 6 inches, and we're gonna score at 2 inches all the way around. And the lid is 3 1/8 by 3 1/8, and with the lid we are not going to score at 3/4 of an inch, but we are going to score at 1/2 an inch all the way around on all 4 sides. And there we have the last box, and we are done. So let's put this box in with the rest, and let's put this box together and see how stinking cute it turned out. Alrighty, and that there is a total of 9 boxes. It's 8 boxes inside, and the 9th box would be this bigger box on the outside that we did. Now, again, these embellishments are embellishments that I had in my stash. Each of the pockets was done, or the belly belts here, the straps, was done using the scrap paper that I kept from cutting all of these boxes. I really didn't use any extra paper other than a bit of white cardstock, just to add to some of the ones that I felt like the white would be a better, I guess, card color than a colored cardstock. And so it took me a total of 20 pieces of paper to do it, but, and that is a big but, this is all the cardstock that I still have left over. These are the scraps that I have. And so there is a significant amount of scraps in here that can still be used for another DIY. And so, yeah, I mean, really there's a lot. And this is why I keep my scraps. I have a bin that is only scraps because I just refuse to throw them away. Okay, now I'm gonna quit my gabbing, and we're gonna put this box together. And there we have my version of an explosion box. That was fun. Did it take a bit of time? It did, but I enjoyed it. I watched a lot of Criminal Minds and NCIS doing this, and I am loving this spring paper pack that was double-sided. I think that that was perfect for this time of year, and when it comes to these boxes, endless possibilities, so fun, such a great gift idea. I mean, just totally handmade, and the way you can personalize these is amazing. And I think the next box that I make is going to be for my friend Ashley for her little one that has not yet entered this world, but is such a blessing. And so, yes, there you go. A 9-box explosion box. Now, again, if you want to do the full 13, I say go for it. I was happy with just doing 9, but the measurements, you can see all the measurements are on that chart for all 13 boxes. And so if you want to do all 13, you're gonna just put it together the same way as I did here and just continue on until you've gotten all the way down to that 1-inch box. Yep, it's Saturday and Kayla is uploading. Are you bored? You need a good laugh? Head on over to her channel and watch her play some Stardew Valley. It's her favorite game. You can find the link to her video in the description box below. I think this might be my new favorite paper craft to do. Yes, there is a lot of boxes to make, but the outcome is so fun. And how fun would this be to add pictures to each of the boxes and gift this to your best friend of all of the memories that you've had over the last 25 years. Okay, Linda's been my best friend for 25 years, so that's why I think that this would be a great gift for her. And she's probably watching this, but let me tell you, Linda and I have hundreds, if not thousands of pictures together. And I think that this would be such a fun box for us to do together, collecting all those pictures. And I definitely would need her help because she's probably way better at keeping pictures than I am. But anyway, I love the idea of this explosion box. There are endless possibilities with it. And if you have a Cricut, you can cut it out on your Cricut and save yourself a ton of time. But if you don't, you can do it like I did today. And it's gonna be just as great, just as fun, just as meaningful. And whoever you gift this to is absolutely gonna love it. I hope you all enjoyed today's paper crafting DIY of this explosion box that I never knew existed until now, and it's my favorite new paper craft. Wow, that was like, I got winded saying that. Please make sure to give this video a big thumbs up, and let's get this video to, you guessed it, 5,000 likes, because like I always say, each and every one of your thumbs up and those comments that you do leave down below, they really do help my channel to grow, and it helps YouTube to notice me just a bit more. Until next time, everybody, I hope you have a fantastic day. Happy crafting on a budget. Stay happy, stay safe, stay healthy, but most of all, stay positive.